something. Baseball is an easy sport to just pick up one day. I bet anybody could go out to the park and knock down 5 of 10 from the strike. But I would love to see you step in the box and try and slap a 75-mile-per-hour batting practice fastball out of the infield 5 out of 10 times. And then in parentheses, you put YouTube video question mark.
Let's do it.
I hear what you're saying. The kid is looking. The biggest reason baseball is suffering in the inner cities is the cost factor, especially in this economy, in quotations. I appreciated that.
I know that's your favorite phrase, so I had to quote it.
It really is. For a decent bat, glove, and ball, a kid is looking at $200. That's not even including catching gear, batting helmets, batting gloves, and spikes. Also, baseball takes a lot more people to play a game. I mean, 3-on-3 baseball games just aren't fun. I recommend a book by Dave Winfield, Making the Play, How to Get the Best of Baseball Back. The man has some great ideas. P.S. We are still friends. All right. And here is my rebuttal. What is this? Is somebody spamming in the chat room? That's awesome. Whatever.
Chat room spammage?
Yeah, he's like zmptv.com. Yeah, whatever. Step on it. Click it, whatever. Okay, this is my rebuttal. I said the proof is in the numbers. Baseball has poor ratings because it's boring, plain and simple. The best thing about baseball purists is that 90% will die of old age within the next 30 years. Sure, attendance is fine, but hockey also has good attendance. So did arena football, by the way. I'll just throw that in. TV money pays the bills, though. And your urban kids argument falls flat considering how popular football is in the inner city. How much do you think it costs for all of that football gear? And you need quite a few guys to get a game going, just like baseball. You also need a large area to play in, just like baseball, yet football is thriving and baseball is dwindling. Don't get mad at me, I'm just pointing out facts. At one time, boxing was huge in this country, but times change, and if baseball doesn't make some changes to keep up with the times, it will share the same fate. FYI, I've hit the very fast at Knights Action Park on a pretty consistent basis. I don't know for sure, but the sign said they come out at 80. You know I've got athletic ability, I just couldn't play high school sports because I've been working full-time since I was 14. True. And don't confuse my social commentary for me not liking baseball. I'm a fan, it just needs some minor adjustments to make it more watchable. I suggest you check out the replay of my last show. Oh, yeah. And then where I unveil my plan to shave an hour off every MLB game without sacrificing any of the precious numbers you goofy baseball heads are so obsessed with. We're definitely still friends. All right, now, Sean. First question is, are you racist?
Am I racist? You know me. Come on. The furthest thing from racist ever. You know that.
Hoodlums and urban youth and Soulja Boy nonsense. Racial undertone, Sean.
That's, there's relevance to that.
All right, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just trying to put you on the spot. Now, you do know what I was saying, though, right? I'm not saying baseball's necessarily dead. I'm just saying it needs to make a few changes. I mean, look what football and basketball have done to kind of adapt to the times. They're constantly tinkering and tweaking and adjusting more people like them, but baseball is so stubborn that it's played under essentially the same rules and everything as it has been played for the last 100 years.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It does need some improvements.
Yeah,
something does need to be done.
And, you know, the exciting moments of baseball, I think, are incredibly exciting. I just think you have to wait too long to get to those.
I wouldn't say that. I think it's kind of a regional thing. I do follow every team, but I really can only sit down and watch the Cardinals. That's the only team that I really focus on. And, you know, I could really, you know, care less about what's going on, you know, in any other city. But, I mean, did you see the game last night, the World Baseball Classic game, by any chance?
Oh, I saw the highlights. I saw David Wright hit a 2-run single to win it.
Yeah. The last 2 innings of that, I was on the edge of my seat.
If we could just get to that, you know, without so much other nonsense, I love baseball, man, and I want to see it survive. The way it's going now, though, it's constantly losing fans. It's constantly losing viewers, and that's happening. It's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Baseball guys try to say things like, well, the inner city kids aren't attracted to it and it's not marketed right. But listen, man, you don't really need to market much these days with the internet. And, I mean, people have access to anything they want. It's just people are choosing not to watch.
Well, I just think it's one of those sports, it's similar to hockey, that you don't really have an interest in unless you've played it.
Okay, well...
Now, I don't think the kids these days are playing as much as they used to, obviously, in years past.
And it didn't used to be like that, though, man. Baseball used to be the sport.
Yeah.
And it still could be one of the top sports. And you don't want to compare your sport to hockey, man. That's the last thing you want to do. I mean, if you only have people watching baseball because they're following their teams and that's it, then that automatically puts you out of the conversation with you know, like the NFL and the NBA. Because think about this, Sean. Is there an NFL team that you watch but don't follow any other team? You watch every NFL game you can.
Yeah, I do. Well, I obviously have the Sunday ticket, so I mean, I really don't have a choice but to watch every other game. But I do watch every game. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, you do, and you're not the only one, man. I'm talking casual fans. I will watch a Jacksonville, Tennessee game, though I have absolutely zero interest in either team, but just because I like to watch football.
How much of that is because of what you do with fantasy football?
Well, me personally, it might have a lot to do with it, but the ratings are there. I mean, football is gigantically massive, and it's not really fair to compare anything to football. So you can go NBA if you want, because NBA is kind of the same way. Like a casual fan can sit down and watch like a Sixers Golden State game or something like that. I mean, don't you think can you casually just join in an NBA game and watch regardless of who's playing?
Maybe like the last 2 minutes.
Really? Really?
If it's a close game, I can watch the last 2 minutes. But I think with the NBA, there's really no defense. The shot clock makes it so there's one or two passes, and then there's an open jumper usually. And it just seems back and forth, and just, I don't know. It just seems almost more like a tennis match to me. Just going up and down the court doing the same stuff.
Really? I think
pick and roll, back cream. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, though, is the NBA is actually, its ratings are increasing. Its ratings are actually going up. You know, they're going in the right direction. And to be quite honest, man, if you give it a fair shot and watch a lot of the games, the defense is there. It's coming back. I mean, I know it's easy to think back to those few years right after Jordan left, where I mean, it really was. The NBA was putting out a terrible product. I couldn't even watch it, and I'm a basketball guy. But now, man, it's really, really coming along, and it's getting back to where you can just turn on a game. And it's not just me. You might not be able to just turn on any game and watch any team, but casual fans are tuning in to the NBA. I mean, they are, but they're not tuning to baseball.
Well, what are the ratings like compared from, obviously baseball's been down the past couple of years with all the negative publicity and everything else surrounding the game. But where are they ranked compared to basketball? Are they comparable, or is the NBA overtaking MLB? They're definitely behind basketball. So they're definitely behind the NBA. So I'm not sure to what capacity. That's surprising to me.
Really?
Yeah.
On a game-by-game basis, the average viewers tuning into a game. Now, overall, at the end of a baseball season, you probably have had more people tune in. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many more games. And all games
that's one thing, because the baseball season is so long. I mean, it's really hard to get excited about one game, you know, until it's to September and October, and you know the pennant race is on.
And I really get into baseball about after the All-Star break. You know, I really start getting into baseball hard then, and it's so hard for me now to get into it. And that's another one of my problems with baseball, is that why does it have to be so long? I mean, when